For thousands of years, there's been this one story that's told as the very first chapter of China, the story of the Xia Dynasty. It's supposed to be the foundational epic, the beginning of everything. But what if that first chapter was a total myth? So, was it real, or was it just a good story? That question has been this ghost in the historical record for centuries. We've got all these incredible, detailed stories about China's origins, but for the longest time, there was absolutely zero physical proof. So today, we're going to investigate the cold case of China's Lost First Dynasty. All right, so let's start with the legend itself. The traditional story of the Xia is just epic. We're talking about heroes. We're talking about taming massive floods and, crucially, establishing China's very first hereditary dynasty, where power was passed from father to son for the first time. And we're not talking about some minor folktale here. In the traditional view, the Xia isn't just a chapter of Chinese history, it is chapter one. This is supposedly where it all begins. The cultural significance is, well, it's just massive. Okay, but here's where things get tricky. We have tons of solid archaeological proof for the Shang and the Zhou dynasties that came after. No question they existed. But the Xia, the one that supposedly started it all, for millennia, it just existed in this historical gray zone. No hard evidence, just stories. And that created this central mystery, right? For 2,000 years after these stories were written down, there was simply nothing. No artifacts, no ruins, no bones. So you've got this incredible conflict. On one hand, you have these ancient texts that are deeply revered, filled with the names of kings, details of their capital city, the whole shebang. And on the other hand, a complete and total void in the ground. For centuries, not a single pot, not a single foundation could be definitively labeled Xia. So because of this total lack of evidence, a really strong skepticism started to take hold, especially in the 20th century. The thinking was, well, maybe later dynasties just made up the Xia. Maybe it was a kind of political propaganda, a story about a corrupt old dynasty being overthrown to justify their own rise to power. But, that kind of doubt, it actually lit a fire under a new generation of Chinese archaeologists. They just weren't content to leave it as a myth. They decided, okay, we're going to go out there and look for it. We're going to turn this legend into a science. So their plan was super methodical. They focused their search on the Yellow River Valley, which was the legendary heartland of the Xia. And the mission, well, it was simple but absolutely monumental. Find the physical evidence that could finally bridge the gap between myth and reality. And then, in the 1950s, they hit something huge. It wasn't labeled Xia, but it was about to change everything. They called it the Early Tao culture. See, Early Tao wasn't just some random prehistoric village. This was a massive, incredibly complex Bronze Age city. And the crucial part? Its location in Henan province matched the ancient descriptions of the Xia capital. The puzzle pieces were really starting to come together. And then came the carbon dating. And oh my gosh, the results were just staggering. Early Two's peak activity, when it was this bustling city, fits perfectly inside the legendary timeline of the Xia Dynasty. It falls right before the confirmed Shang Dynasty. The timing was almost too good to be a coincidence. And the deeper they dug, the crazier it got. They found these massive palace-like structures. They found China's earliest known bronze casting workshops pumping out these complex, beautiful vessels. They found royal tombs filled with jade and other elite goods. And they found this incredible, intricate turquoise dragon, clearly a symbol of a very powerful ruler. Yeah, the conclusion here was pretty much unavoidable. Urlitu wasn't just a big town. The scale of its industry, the obvious hierarchy in its burials, the monumental architecture, it all pointed to one thing. This was the capital of a kingdom. This was the center of a dynasty. So you can see how all the pieces are starting to just click into place, right? The big question became, could Early Tao be the physical proof of the legendary Xia? The evidence was getting seriously compelling. Just look at how this all lines up. The legends say the Xia were in the Yellow River Valley, check. Early Two is right there. The legends place them before the Shang Dynasty, check. Early Two's dates line up perfectly. The old texts hint at some advanced bronze work, check. Early Two has China's earliest large-scale bronze foundry. Powerful, centralized rulers, the palaces and tombs at Early Two just scream powerful, centralized rule.
Now look, is there a giant stone sign that says, "Welcome to the Xia Dynasty, population 20,000"? Well, no. The evidence is what we call circumstantial. There's no definitive smoking gun inscription. But the sheer weight of all this circumstantial evidence has convinced a huge majority of scholars that they've finally found their lost dynasty.
So where does all of this leave us? Well, while some skepticism definitely remains, and that's always healthy in history and science, the overwhelming consensus has shifted. Most scholars today believe the legend of the Xia has a very real, very tangible historical basis in the early Tol culture. Which really leaves us with this incredible final thought. The case of the Xia dynasty isn't just about ancient China. It's about how we know anything about the distant past. It really forces us to ask, without a written confession from history itself, at what point does a mountain of clues become the undeniable truth? When does a legend finally become history?